With Duo FNCS just around the corner, it is time we start looking at my Duo Cups, my mistakes, and what I could have done better. For Duo FNCS, the one thing holding me back more than anything else is fighting. And as most of you know, fighting has been a weak point of mine for a very long time. Now, I luckily have moved and halved my ping, and therefore I am doing everything in my power to become the best fighter I can be. In the 8 days until FNCS Qualifier 1 begins, I'm going to play an unhealthy amount of solo arena, where I VOD review every single death and think about what I could have done differently. VOD reviewing arena is, from personal experience, the best way to exponentially improve as a fighter. What I've realized when VOD reviewing my fights is that my peaks needs a lot of work, I am not aggressive enough when I tag my opponent for a lot of damage, and my inconsistent edits is what kills me around 80% of the time when I fight. In game 2, we get a couple of super easy outspawn kills just because we had better glides than our opponents. Practicing and perfecting your glides to your drop spot is something you'll find super beneficial when it comes to improving your performance in tournaments. Dying off-spawn or having to disengage is something everyone goes through occasionally, but limiting those off-spawn deaths and disengages, where you most of the time end up being scuffed, will make you a much more consistent player. In this game, I end up going down because I focus on fighting the players contesting height, instead of just building over them. When taking height, your main focus should always be to get up on height first, and then you can look down on the opponents trying to take it. Fighting the team contesting when I'm not even on 200 HP is a highly unnecessary risk, considering I also had builds when I died. In game 3, I make the mistake of basing the weapons I get off spawn on floor spawns I can't see, hoping I find a weapon inside this building. But unfortunately, I don't find any weapons, as no weapons spawns. I should have landed on one of the weapons I could have seen and not based my early game off whether I got lucky or not. In game 4, we went for pre-edits in moving, and this is a super good play if you see players who are unaware or on a low HP wall. What's crucial when going for pre-edits is that you try to hide your body as good as possible behind the cone you're standing on when taking the wall, because both me and Andbox's movement could have been much better here. But as we were 2v1ing, it really wasn't a problem. At this very late stage of the game right here, I did not stay as calm as I should have. As you can see, I only have 21 shields and I had a mini. What's crucial, and what me and Andbox need to work on, is when we are scuffed with 0 mats in an endgame, we need to play together and not go for solo plays. Going for a play together on 0 mats will greatly increase the chances of getting a refresh in comparison to going for 2 individual plays to get those mats. In game 5, Andbox unfortunately dies to full damage as he Spider-Maned from a really high point and got shot out. What we need to make sure of next time we're Spider-Manning is that even if we get shot out, we won't take a lot of full damage. How you should use Spider-Man is obviously from a pretty low point in the start of first moving, or Spider-Man over other players' builds. One thing I need to get better at is just believing in my crosshair placement. When shooting, sometimes I do this weird and super unnecessary flick up. I'm not sure whether it's because I'm stressed, not focused, or if it's simply just a bad habit. But moving forward to future cups, all I need to do is place my crosshair in the middle of the screen and hold my mouse still and shoot. Because missing shots like this seriously just isn't okay. In game 6, me and Andbox got into a lot of fights. And I feel like one thing me and Andbox need to improve quite a lot is our communication in fights. Because both me and him can often get very quiet during our fights when we focus the most. Fighting in duo cash cups is definitely where you can improve the most as a fighter. Looking at your common mistakes and what you need to improve. This game, because of a lack of both communication and awareness, Andbox unfortunately went down early. However, I could have easily won this 2v1 if I just built more space with hard mats to play with. Just focusing a tiny little bit on your movement can actually make all the difference in the world in fights. Awareness is something I try to improve every single day. However, in tournaments, I still have moments where my awareness is at a very low level. In order to better my awareness even more, I have now turned on visualize sound effects. And I also recommend all of you guys to do the same. That way, you can see footsteps of your enemies even when you might not be able to hear them. Game 8 honestly brought a lot of free kills for me and Andbox. And as you probably can tell, the aim is getting better and better for every day I grind. Getting this new internet has really inspired and motivated me to play this game more than ever. And I really think that in the coming months, I'll improve exponentially as a player. My biggest weakness right now, and by far, is definitely my mechanics. And I am well aware of that and the fact that they need some work. So therefore, I'm spending a lot of my time practicing and improving my mechs, playing mostly creative. Alright guys, I know I said the aim was getting better, but hear me out. Well, there is no excuse. I was absolute ass. And lastly, in our final game, we needed to clutch up to 156 points to qualify. And here is how that went. Fortsatt 200 massbar, claim head. Ta litt stormsticks. Suffocate dem. Nice. Ok, du er topp 3 nå. Det er en duo. En duo. Det er duoen, det er duoen. Ta tiden din, ta tiden din. Du kan ta 7 stormsticks. Det er bra spill uansett. Det er bra spill uansett. So obviously, it's still a miles away from where we want to be. But hey, we didn't play too bad. And with FNCS right around the corner, I feel like we're playing a pretty solid game, and I'm more than excited to see how FNCS this weekend ends up going. Guys, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of today's episode. I will catch you guys tomorrow with a brand new one. Please go on to have a wonderful day. My name is M1K3 Editz. Stay safe and take care. She know me, she'll